WWE has always had a deep roster, with talent spread across Raw and SmackDown. Recently, though, a string of injuries has significantly impacted the locker room, leaving many top stars sidelined and affecting the company's programming. Chad Gable. Chad Gable is scheduled to have surgery in early July, and although WWE has not revealed the exact details of his injury, it's significant enough that there is no clear timeline for his return. Chad Gable, a key superstar on Monday Night Raw, both as a solo competitor and as the tough coach of the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, was written off TV during the June 23 episode. In that segment, he was ambushed backstage by Penta, a storyline reportedly created to explain Chad Gable's real-life health condition. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is reportedly out for an extended period following WWE Saturday Night's main event. It didn't end as planned for Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior entered Saturday Night's main event looking to end his blood feud with Damian Priest. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned in their steel cage match, as he seemed to suffer a knee injury. Reports from Quinsider suggest that he will now be out of action for an extended period. Although he didn't pick up the injury during the steel cage match, the report claims that the Scottish Warrior has been working hurt for some time now. It is believed backstage that he will be taking an extended break and will not be seen on TV going forward. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens' neck injury has apparently gotten worse. Owens is still awaiting surgery after a neck injury shelved him in April, but he has a tentative timeline to address the increasingly worrying issue. On April 4th, Owens pulled out of WrestleMania 41, citing a neck injury. Owens claimed to have had the injury for 5 months, though he had wrestled Sami Zayn in a ruthless, unsanctioned match 3 days earlier. Owens expanded greatly on his condition while speaking with close friend and co-worker Cody Rhodes on the latter's "What Do You Want to Talk About?" podcast. Owens' neck injury was initially misdiagnosed because his symptoms were not congruent with neck or spinal cord injuries. Even after doctors identified the issue, Owens continued functioning without the typically associated symptoms. Unfortunately, that changed shortly before their podcast episode, released on Wednesday, was recorded. In the last week, for some reason, the symptoms all came in one shot, Owens told Rhodes. Every symptom you'd expect me to have. The pain in the neck. The stuff going down the arms. The legs not really responding. It's all been happening. Liv Morgan. WWE star Liv Morgan is expected to be out of action for several months due to a shoulder injury she sustained last week. The news was shared by WWE commentator Corey Graves during Monday's episode of Raw, as he discussed Morgan's condition. Morgan, who is currently one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions alongside Raquel Rodriguez, is now facing uncertainty regarding the future of the titles, as WWE has yet to announce what will happen to them in her absence. The injury occurred on June 16 during Morgan's match against Kairi Sane on Raw. Early in the match, Sane executed a single-leg takedown on Morgan. Though the move was performed correctly, Morgan immediately screamed in pain, causing the match to be halted. WWE medical staff quickly rushed to Morgan's side, and she was escorted backstage. As a result, the match was called off, with Sane being awarded the win by forfeit. Dominic Mysterio, who currently holds the Intercontinental Championship, has emerged as one of WWE's rising stars. On the most recent episode of Raw, it was revealed that his upcoming match against AJ Styles at Night of Champions was scrapped due to an injury Mysterio was reportedly dealing with. While many initially speculated that it might be a storyline to explain his reluctance to defend the title, later reports confirmed that Mysterio had indeed injured his ribs. Ilya Dragunov, one of WWE's fiercest competitors, has been absent since late September 2024. During a live show in Columbus, Georgia, Dragunov faced Gunther for the World Heavyweight title, but a torn ACL cut the match short, sidelining him for an estimated 6 to 9 months. This injury halted his momentum after a strong main roster debut. While rehabbing, Dragunov has been pushing himself at the WWE Performance Center, focusing on regular training rather than just rehab exercises. However, WWE has yet to announce a return date for his in-ring return. Tama Tonga. WWE superstar Tama Tonga has reportedly suffered an injury and is expected to be out of action for an undisclosed amount of time, the report stated. So in another little injury bit, we are told Tama Tonga has suffered an injury and will be out of action for an undisclosed amount of time. It will be interesting to see if this affects Tonga Loa's return, as he was on pace for a mid-summer comeback. However, with his brother and tag partner now shelved, his timetable also remains to be seen. However, with Tonga Loa returning, it is speculated Tama Tonga will be back in the near future. Zoey Stark undergoes surgery after a serious knee injury. Zoey Stark suffered a major setback during the May 19th edition of WWE Raw in a Money in the Bank qualifying match against Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane. While attempting a missile dropkick, she landed awkwardly on her knee. Officials removed Stark from the match midway due to the severity of the injury. This led to Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane finishing the rest of the match. Reports later confirmed that Stark is set to be out of action for the rest of 2025. Bianca Belair has been off TV since WrestleMania 41 after she suffered multiple broken fingers in the triple threat match against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Quinsider reports that WWE is hopeful that Belair will be cleared for action by SummerSlam in August at the very latest. At the time of her injury, WWE was forced to change up her involvement in the Naomi vs. Jade Cargill storyline that has been ongoing for the last several months. Otis. Fightful Select has provided an update on Otis, who hasn't been seen on WWE television since his match with Rusev on the May 5th episode of Monday Night Raw. WrestleVotes previously reported that Otis has been dealing with an injury and is off the active roster. According to Fightful, sources close to Otis revealed that he underwent arthroscopic elbow surgery to diagnose the issue. While it's not expected that he'll be out for an extended period, the timeline could change depending on the findings from the procedure. Rey Mysterio was set for a match against El Grande Americano at WrestleMania 41 back in April, but the match had to be changed on the night due to an injury to Rey. Rey was injured in a six-man tag team match on the SmackDown show prior to WrestleMania, where he, Dragon Lee, and Rey Fenix defeated American Made, with Rey suffering a torn groin during the match. Rey provided an update on his recovery, noting that he is hoping to be ready to return by August. Big E. In March 2022, Big E suffered a broken neck during an episode of WWE SmackDown, and the former world champion has been out of action ever since. Big E added that while he feels great, and in-ring return remains uncertain, and he's now at an age where he's thinking about his future more. He said, "More than anything, I'm so grateful to God, to karma, the universe, the creator, whatever magic it is that puts us on earth. I'm happy to have a healthy and normal life." Despite his injury, Big E has remained part of WWE programming. Apollo Crews hasn't been seen on television since the January 24th edition of WWE SmackDown, when he tore his left pectoral muscle during a singles match with Johnny Gargano. Since then, the former Intercontinental Champion has actively participated in rehab and is expected to be back in the late stages of 2025. El Grande Americano. Much like with Chad Gable, WWE has yet to issue an official statement, but behind the scenes, storyline changes are already underway. One of the big questions being raised around El Grande Americano, the masked WWE Speed Champion, is that many fans have speculated he is actually Chad Gable, though WWE has never confirmed this. El Grande Americano has built a dedicated fanbase thanks to his fast-paced, high-octane matches and technical mastery, drawing clear parallels to Gable's signature in ring style. Now that Gable is out of action, there's growing speculation about how WWE will handle the future of this masked persona.